Corporation case, R tilde 385 tilde 460 tilde 312 U S. Special court martial martial law CAPIAS warrant. On September 23rd of 2021, I am filing into the corporation case a CAPIAS warrant for a vessel body attachment to capture the vessel on this contract, Anthony-Stephen Fauci, capital letters as a vessel. Anthony Stephen Fauci sick as an adjective pronoun. He was born on December 24th, 1940. He's of the age of 81 years old on his vessel. There's a picture of his vessel on this contract, as well as his known living location. The basis of the warrant and the warrant claims on the contract are genocide and conspiracy with the performances of Anthony-Stephen Fauci vessel-body. The claims on the contract are with my positions as a muster-master on file with the Secretary of the Navy's office, the Judge Advocate General's Court in Washington, D.C., the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington, D.C., the World Court at The Hague on January 5th of 2005. I filed a contract in with the Secretary of The Hague as a World Court syntax judge, stopping and correcting as a muster-master through the Secretary of the Navy's office as Postmaster-General, Commander-in-Chief, conducting the largest military court-martialing in the history of planet Earth. Within that court-martialing and within that filing, the World Court at The Hague's filing mechanics were placed on trial, and the clerk of the court at the World Court at The Hague International Peace Palace in The Hague, Netherlands, no longer has authorization to hear cases for genocide against we the people. Knowing this and the knowledge of this makes me come forward on this day with the forensic facts of the Pentagon, verifying that the performances of this vessel, Anthony-Stephen Fauci, capital letters, has been conducting performances to conduct genocide against the people of the former United States and the people of the world. I'm giving closure on this day that on May 16th of 2012, I filed in with the International Maritime Organization as well as the World Court at The Hague a contract as a claimant World Court venue syntax chief judge. When my former partner died in 2008, because of the corporation shareholders meeting that was held within the 45-day trust moratorium of his death, I transferred over the positions to the correct locations to safeguard the people of the planet against this fictitious grammar that has occurred based upon the performances of the warrant vessel on the contract. In 2003, I met with the Department of Navy physicians and doctors in Dane County, Wisconsin. where we had a 3-day conversation on the mechanics of my position as muster-master for the Secretary of the Navy's office and the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. In the performances of their closure, which is on judicial record with the Department of Navy Physician's Office, on file with the Secretary of the Navy's office, my duty is to stop and superintend the mechanics of fraud that are being perpetrated against the American soldiers and the Secretary of the Navy's office. The fraud that's being perpetrated is genocide by the vessel on this contract. With the vessel on this contract, there's been a warrant placed out for his CAPIAS for his vessel body to be brought into my location of my now space so I can hold him on trial. The reason why this has to happen is the United States judicial system does not have authorization to accept lawsuits and file paperwork through their court system anymore, because of the consequences of the United States Post Office failing in 1999 to reauthorize a correct constitutional president, a constitution, and a Congress. The U.S. judicial system is now closed. The World Court at The Hague system is now closed. And the Judge Advocate General's Court in Washington, D.C. is now closed for filing lawsuits to bring this vessel to his accountability for his performances. Anthony-Stephen Fauci. In 1999, the U.S. Post Office failed to reauthorize a constitution and give guidelines on closure for a function for a postal system. Thus, the clerk of courts in each venue in the former United States does not have authorization to put a file stamp on your contract to transport and move the vessel. Thus, you will see on this day that I have placed my file stamp for my military postal-service-station for my court to be transported with the fee of freight for the $1 stamp, which I've autographed as the postmaster. There is a Title IV flag with the martial law spear on the vessel contract. The spear suspends contract because whatever's on the flag standard sets the venue for the flag. But I am the correct Title IV 1-to-1.9 owner of the Title IV flag. I am the solitary owner, controller, and shareholder of the Title IV flag. Because when the United States government ceased to exist, I filed copyrights on the flag. And I filed the correct protocols and mechanics to articulate that on a global level. I also took it one step further. I went back to the origin of the United States government, to the Benjamin Franklin Postal Court in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And on December 21st, 2012, the end of the Mayan calendar, the end of the fiction Babel grammar world, it ended with the filings where I filed salvage for the federal-postal court, which I am the solitary owner and controller of. But all courts on planet Earth are closed right now because of one thing. Because they failed to be correct in the time and space to file their paperwork, log their flags, pay their fee for freight, and hold the continuance of the facts, the continuance of the evidence, of the mechanics of the day-to-day function under trust time moratoriums, which I have maintained since 1999. The Secretary of the Navy's office and the Pentagon is very cognizant of this, and they're very cognizant of my position. However, because we have a vessel that needs captured on this vessel contract, I'm authorizing the employees of the U.S. Pentagon, as well as the employees that were formerly in the U.S. military branches, the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, and the Marine Corps. And how this works is if you are a former member or you are a current member within the military paradigm, you place a $1 stamp on the contract here. You autograph that stamp and put your claim of the life number across it, and you also place your postal registration number in across the stamp as well. The reason why that is because we put your postal registration number on the stamp because the United States Post Office failed to tell you when you went and got your postal ID number before you went into your military branch that they didn't have authorization to accept your postal ID number or give you one before you walked into a branch. This is trickery and mass deception by the U.S. Postal Service against the U.S. military and against the U.S. soldiers who have fought so diligently to safeguard the values which they felt they were fighting for. The value of a constitution that they failed to tell them ceased to exist. The value of a flag that they ceased to tell you that they ceased to own. By placing your former military ID numbers on the stamp, what you're doing is you're salvaging your position for your registration as a postal soldier. And you're coming into the correct venue of the Federal-Postal-Service-Station and Military-Postal-Service-Station, which is on file around the world, so that you are correct in your mechanics for filing salvage against the United States Postal Service's lie when they failed under Title 39, Section 101, subsection A and subsection B in the presidential election of 2000. Thus, by putting your postal military registration number across the stamp, you are filing claim on your position to bring your equity back across onto this vessel contract. These are mechanics that they've been hiding from the American soldiers, and these are the consequences of what we're seeing out here today. So I'm coming forward on this 23rd of September 2021 and giving closure that the former soldiers can now get involved for the capture of this vessel. Once they place their stamp on here and place their autograph across the stamp and place their postal ID number across that registration, they then can capture that vessel, Anthony-Stephen Fauci, and bring him into my location of the now space so I can hold him on trial for the claims of the genocide and conspiracy against the people of the former United States and the people of the world. Active duty and former military of the U.S. military. You can go to fortheclaimofthelife.com and click on the military link, where you will have the guidelines, instructions on how to get your claim of the life expedited in a speedy fashion to you so you can perform these tasks that are before you. At the same time, it gives you guidelines and gives you closure for these contracts will be on file at that location for your closure, so you can download this warrant as a PDF and start to put the $1 stamp on things, autograph the back of the page as well, and that will give you the necessary joinder to go capture this vessel his picture's on the vessel contract. So this is corporation case number R period till the 385 till the 460 till the 312 : U period S period. And now you know.